looking at physical issues, and you've got a physical issue?
I do have a physical issue, yes.
Talk to me about it.
I have this pain in my right hip here. That it just, I've been to chiros, been to osteopaths, doctors, nothing really sort of alleviates it for any length of time, and it comes and goes. So I'm feeling it's not actually mechanical, because I can be a couple of days and it's fine, and then I can't stand up.
Okay, so do you have it now?
Yeah.
What is it out of 10?
Now at the moment it's probably only about a 5, but it can get up to like a 9.
And if there was an emotion in there, in your right hip, what would it be?
I don't know.
Okay. Don't know?
No.
If there was someone you were carrying on your hip, who would it be?
Myself.
What aspect of yourself?
I'm not sure about what aspect of myself. Future. Future self, maybe. Maybe.
When does it, you said it comes and goes. What's a time, a memory where it was really there? Like the first time or the worst time when you really felt
It started when I was moving furniture and I put my back out. And ever since then.
So what was going on about moving furniture? Were you moving?
No, I wasn't. I was just moving things around in the lounge room.
By yourself?
No, with my ex.
And what was going on at the time with your ex?
This is what I'm not sure about. I don't know whether I just found out that he'd been cheating, or whether that was, or I was just in the suspecting stage. I can't remember. It's a blur.
So when you remember back to that time, moving furniture around, what do you think the pain level was then?
Then I couldn't move. It was like excruciating. I was just, it was one of those comedy ones where you're just locked and you can't get up.
Alright,
That's
so
it.
if we go back to then, even though I remember, back with my ex-husband,
back with my ex-partner,
when I was moving furniture, I can't remember if I suspected or found out he was cheating.
I can't remember if I suspected or found out that he was cheating.
But I do remember being locked in pain.
But I do remember being locked in pain.
I couldn't move.
No, I couldn't move.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And everything I remember.
And everything that I remember.
Feeling in my right hip.
Feeling in my right hip.
Even though I have this memory.
Even though I have this memory.
Moving around furniture with my ex-partner.
Moving around furniture with my ex-partner.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
If I suspected or knew that he was cheating.
I suspected or knew that he was cheating.
But I remember being in so much pain.
I remember being in so much pain.
In my right hip.
In my right hip.
That it was locked.
That it was locked.
And I couldn't move.
And I couldn't move.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And everything I remember.
And everything I remember.
Even though I have this memory.
Even though I have this memory.
Of being locked in my right hip.
Of being locked in my right hip.
The most severe pain I felt in my hip.
Severe pain I felt in my hip.
Moving around furniture with my ex-partner.
Moving around furniture with my ex-partner.
I can't remember if I suspected or knew he was cheating on me.
I can't remember if I suspected or knew he was cheating.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And all the emotions trapped in my right hip.
And all the emotions trapped in my right hip.
All the emotions trapped in my right hip.
All the emotions trapped in my right hip.
I might have suspected he was cheating.
I might have suspected he was cheating.
I might have known he was cheating.
I might have known he was cheating.
Even if I'd suspected he was cheating.
Even if I'd suspected he was cheating.
There would have been a lot of emotion.
There would have been a lot of emotion.
That I might have been carrying in my right hip.
I might have been carrying in my right hip.
And it's bringing up emotion.
It's bringing up emotion.
All that emotion in my right hip.
My right hip.
Comes and goes now.
It comes and goes.
But I really had it bad then.
I really had it bad then.
I suspected he was cheating.
I suspected he was cheating.
I might have known he was
I
cheating.
might have known.
I was carrying all that emotion.
I was carrying all that emotion.
In my right hip.
In my right hip.
And I remember feeling locked in the right hip.
I remember feeling locked in the right hip.
Locked in that relationship.
Locked in that relationship.
Even when I remember suspecting him.
Suspecting him.
Or even knowing.
Or even knowing.
that he was cheating.
That he was cheating.
All the emotions.
All the emotions.
Trapped in my right hip.
Trapped in my right hip.
So there was an emotion that just came up.
Yep.
What's the emotion? What's the memory? What thoughts came into your mind?
Sadness and fear. Frightened.
Mm-hmm. Who's got the book? What's right hip say, please?
Right hip. There's no right
I think
hip.
there's just, I think there's hips.
Just on the hips.
Just hips?
Yeah. Family problems and disagreements. Who are you carrying on your hip? Feeling used, unappreciated, angry, betrayed, deceived, let down, shot down, alienated, experiencing strain, frustration, guilt, lack of support, too much responsibility, feeling unacknowledged, taken advantage of, manipulated.
Okay, there was 3 words. I can't remember what you said now, but there's 3 words then that sort of. Can I just read it, please? Just to see which one it was. You know what those 3 words were. Angry, betrayed, deceived, let down.
Angry, betrayed, deceived, let down. Thank you. Even though I've got all these emotions. Trapped in my right hip.
Trapped in my right hip.
I was so angry.
I was so angry.
Even when I suspected he was cheating.
Even when I suspected he was cheating.
But when I found out
that
he had been cheating. I have this betrayal. This anger. This being let down. And being deceived. Trapped in my right hip. And every now and then. It flares up. I accept myself. And how my right hip has held on to this. Even though my right hip's been holding on to this. Being let down. Being betrayed. Being deceived. And I've held that in my right hip. I accept myself. And everything I feel. Even though I remember being betrayed, let down, disappointed, and angry. And I've held that in my right hip. I accept myself. And everything I feel. My right hip's been holding on to that for me. It really locked up on me. When I was moving furniture around. With my ex-partner. He cheated on me. He let me down. I was so disappointed. I was so angry. And I pushed that down into my hip.
The deception is coming up very strong.
He deceived me.
He deceived me. Because I started to go into detective mode, and I spent years in detective mode. So the deception is a big thing, I think.
I spent years in deception.
In detective mode.
He really deceived me. He really deceived me. I spent years in detective mode. I spent years, top of the head. I spent years in detective mode. I couldn't trust him. I felt insecure. I have all this insecurity. In my hip. In my right hip. Right is related to male. My right hip. He deceived me. I had to spend years in detective mode. I felt so unsure. Unsupported. Insecure. And I still have that trapped in my right hip. And I thank my right hip. For holding on to all that crap. It even locked me up at one stage. But it's time to process and release. All that emotion. Playing detective for years. Feeling unsure and insecure. All that insecurity. That comes and goes.
In
In my right hip. Thanking my right hip for holding on to it.
Thank you for my right hip for holding on to it.
He deceived me.
You deceived me.
I was so angry.
I was so angry.
He deceived me.
You deceived me.
I felt so insecure.
I felt so insecure.
I spent years being in detective mode.
I spent years being in detective mode.
And all that insecure, unsure feeling.
And all that insecure, unsure feeling.
Feeling deceived.
Feeling deceived.
And anger.
And angry.
Is in my right hip.
Is in my right hip.
And it's time to process and release it.
It's time to process and release it.
Sending his behaviour back to where it belongs.
Sending his behaviour back to where it belongs.
Releasing and letting go of my reaction.
Of my reaction.
To his behaviour.
To his behaviour.
His deception.
His deception.
Belongs over there with him.
Belongs over there with him.
And I want to release my anger.
And I want to release my anger.
I want to release feeling insecure.
I want to release feeling insecure.
Feeling unsure.
Feeling unsure.
I don't want to have to be a detective.
I don't want to have to be a detective.
Releasing and letting that go.
Releasing and letting go.
Out of my right hip.
Out of my right hip.
All the way back to all the times that I felt it.
All the way back to all the times that I felt it.
All those years of
all
being
those
a detective.
years. And all those years since.
And all those years since.
That behaviour.
That learned behaviour.
Learned behaviour.
Maybe I can unlearn it.
Maybe I can unlearn it now.
I wonder if it's safe.
I wonder if it's safe.
To unlearn that insecure feeling.
Unlearn that insecure feeling.
To unlearn having to be a detective.
To unlearn having to be a detective. To trust again.
Yeah, I wonder if I can learn to be trust.
I wonder if I learn to trust people again.
Asking my right hip.
Asking my right hip.
If we can partner together.
If we can partner together.
And learn to trust again.
And learn to trust again.
Maybe I don't have to be a detective.
Maybe I don't have to be a detective.
Not everyone's my ex-partner.
Not everyone's my ex-partner. I'm just going to say, not everybody's a shit.
Not everyone's a shit.
Everyone's a fucking arsehole.
Not everyone's an effing arsehole. Maybe I can learn to trust.
Maybe I can learn to trust.
Asking my right hip.
Asking my right hip.
If we can partner together.
If we can partner together.
To learn to trust again.
To learn to trust again.
Especially to learn to trust men.
Especially to learn to trust men. It's going nice and warm down there.
Feeling the warmth.
Feeling the warmth.
Of my partnership.
Of my partnership with my right hip.
Maybe I don't have to feel insecure.
Maybe I don't need to feel insecure.
Or be a detective.
Or be a detective.
Maybe I can trust now.
Maybe I can trust now.
He's an arsehole.
He's an arsehole.
Sending that back to where it belongs.
Sending that back to where it belongs.
Maybe I can be safe now.
Maybe I can be safe now.
Maybe I can even be safe with a partner.
Maybe I can even be safe with a partner.
Deep breath. You know, when you said it comes and goes, that would have been whenever you're feeling insecure, unsafe. I have to be detective. I don't know if I can trust that. That's when it would be coming and going.
Flaring up. That makes sense.
So as you tune into it now, how does it feel? There's a warmth there.
Yeah, there is a warmth there. There's some slight tingling, but it's not like when I sat down I could feel it, but like now I can feel it a little bit here, but not like it was when I sat down earlier.
So does it feel like something is still processing?
Yeah, probably. It's warm. Yeah, because it went warm. So it's like, oh, maybe something's moving.
So there might be some more aspects to tune into some specific memories of, like, you could perhaps even do the movie technique on whatever you want to call it. That time I found out.
Well, that's what I was doing with Rochelle, so that was the very first time.
That was the start of it.
Yeah.
So there's probably more layers to it.
Yeah, there is.
To work on. But one of the aspects of that is that it was held in the right hip in the body, and it was related to feeling unsure and insecure, and I can't trust, and the anger and the he deceived me. Yeah. Yeah. So that gives you, that's a really good start to that. There's probably more to do. Yeah. You get the gist of working with physical issues.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Well done.